Greetings, everyone. Today we're diving deep into one of the most critical aspects of survival in a SHTF situation: perimeter protection. This topic may bring to mind images of towering fences and armed guards, but it goes far beyond just physical barriers. Whether you live in an apartment complex in the heart of the city, a suburban home nestled in a quiet neighborhood, or a rural property surrounded by open land, perimeter protection plays a key role in ensuring your safety and security. In times of crisis, it's not just about surviving against the elements, but also against potential threats from those who might wish to do you harm or take what you have. A well-protected perimeter can deter potential threats, provide early warnings of intrusion, and give you the upper hand in case of a confrontation. In this video, we'll be exploring various principles and strategies for securing your perimeter, tailored to different living environments. We'll talk about the importance of awareness, knowing your surroundings and identifying weak spots, deterrence, making your property appear difficult to access, early warnings, setting up systems to alert you of intrusions, defensive positioning, strategically placing defenses, and communication, how to coordinate with family or a group. We'll then delve into specific strategies for different living situations. For apartment dwellers, we'll discuss how to fortify entry points, establish community coordination, set up surveillance, create noise traps, ensure adequate lighting, and plan for evacuation. For those in suburban areas, we'll touch upon the benefits of fencing, guard dogs, motion sensors, neighborhood watch, securing outbuildings, and defensible landscaping. For rural residents, we'll talk about perimeter patrols, natural barriers, watchtowers, livestock alarms, firearm training, and communication systems. Each living environment presents its unique challenges and opportunities when it comes to perimeter protection. But regardless of where you live, the goal remains the same: to create a safe and secure space for you and your loved ones. So buckle up as we navigate through the vast world of perimeter security. Let's start by understanding the general principles of perimeter protection. First up, we have awareness. This is all about knowing your surroundings. It's crucial to identify entry points and weak spots in your living environment. Whether it's an apartment complex, suburban area, or rural area, you want to be familiar with every nook and cranny. This knowledge will help you anticipate potential threats and respond effectively. Next, deterrence. This is about making your property appear difficult to access. The goal here is to discourage potential intruders from even attempting a breach. Visible defenses play a significant role in this. Think high fences, strong locks, or even a well-trained guard dog. They all send a clear message: this place is not an easy target. Then we have early warning. This principle involves setting up systems to alert you of intrusions. An early warning gives you precious time to react, whether that's to confront the intruder, call for help, or retreat to a safer location. There are various ways to achieve this, from security cameras and motion sensors to noise traps and alert animals. Now, let's talk about defensive positioning. This principle is all about strategic placement of defensive positions. It's like setting up a chessboard. You want your pieces in the best possible positions to counter any moves by your opponent. For instance, you might position a lookout post at a high point for better visibility, or place barriers near vulnerable entry points. Lastly, we have communication. This is especially important if you're not alone, whether with family or a group. Having methods for communicating is essential. This could be as simple as shouting out a warning, or as sophisticated as a network of walkie-talkies. The key is to ensure everyone is informed and ready to act. Understand that these principles are not standalone. They intertwine and complement each other to form a robust perimeter protection plan. For example, awareness can help you better position your defenses, while an early warning system is useless without effective communication. By integrating these principles, you create a cohesive and robust strategy that is more than the sum of its parts. Each principle reinforces the others, creating a formidable shield of protection around your living environment. It's like weaving a strong net. Each thread alone might not be much, but together they form a powerful barrier. And remember, these principles can be adapted and modified to suit your specific circumstances. There's no one-size-fits-all solution here. The key is to understand and apply these principles in a way that works best for your unique situation. So, whether you're in an apartment complex, suburban area, or rural area, these principles provide a solid foundation for your perimeter protection strategy. They're the building blocks that you can arrange and rearrange to create a fortress that suits your needs and keeps you safe. Remember, These principles are the foundation on which we build our specific strategies. Now let's focus on how to protect an apartment complex in a SHTF situation. Living in an apartment complex presents its own set of distinctive challenges when it comes to perimeter protection. The density of living conditions and the shared common areas can make securing your home a bit tricky, but not impossible. With the right strategies, it can be made secure. First and foremost, you need to fortify your entry points. Reinforce your doors and windows to make them harder to breach. This could be as simple as installing deadbolt locks, or as complex as reinforcing your door with a security bar. For windows, you might consider security film or bars, depending on what your building management allows. Next, consider the value of community coordination. The more eyes and ears you have looking out for trouble, the better. Creating a community watch system can be a great way to share responsibilities and information. Remember, in a SHTF situation, everyone is in this together. The more coordinated you are, the better your chances of staying safe. Surveillance is another important aspect of apartment complex security. Having security cameras installed, or even dummy cameras, can act as a deterrent for potential intruders. They might think twice about trying to break in if they believe they're being watched. Now, let's talk about noise traps. These can be as simple as a string of cans or bells tied to your door handle or window latches. If someone tries to enter, the noise can alert you and possibly scare off the intruder. Lighting is another crucial factor. Ensure hallways and common areas are well lit. Intruders prefer to operate in the shadows, so having a well-lit environment can act as a deterrent. Finally, always have an evacuation plan. Know your escape routes in case things go south. This could be a back stairwell, a fire escape, or even a rope ladder for higher floors. Make sure everyone in your household knows the plan and can execute it if necessary. Living in an apartment complex presents unique challenges, but with the right strategies, it can be made secure. Moving on, let's see what perimeter protection looks like in a suburban area. A suburban home can be a beacon of safety and security with the right measures in place. One of the first lines of defense is fencing. A tall, solid fence can deter unwanted visitors, while adding elements like barbed wire or thorny plants can further discourage anyone with ill intent. But remember, an effective fence isn't just about keeping others out. It's also about ensuring you have a clear view of what's happening on the other side. Now let's not forget about our four-legged friends. A well-trained guard dog can provide both a deterrent and an early warning system. They're not just man's best friend, they can be man's best security system too. Next, consider installing motion sensors. These can be tied to lights, alarms, or both. When someone crosses into your property, the sudden illumination or noise can startle intruders and alert you to their presence. It's like having a silent, always alert sentinel watching over your home. Creating a neighborhood watch group is another excellent strategy. This involves teaming up with your neighbors to keep an eye on each other's properties. Regular patrols can deter potential threats and foster a sense of community security. Remember, there's strength in numbers. Securing outbuildings is another crucial step. Sheds and garages often house valuable tools or equipment that could be attractive to thieves. Locking and reinforcing these structures can prevent easy access and keep your belongings safe. Lastly, don't overlook the value of defensible landscaping. This is a fancy term for keeping your bushes and trees trimmed, especially those near the house. Overgrown foliage can provide cover for unwanted visitors. A well-maintained yard not only looks good, but it also eliminates potential hiding spots. So, there you have it. From fencing to dogs, motion sensors to neighborhood watch groups, securing outbuildings, and defensible landscaping, these are some of the most effective strategies you can employ to protect your suburban home. Remember, the key is to create layers of security that deter, detect, and delay potential threats. Every suburban home can be turned into a fortress with the right plan and execution. For those of you in rural areas, your strategies will differ, but the principles remain the same. When it comes to rural areas, the isolation and vastness can be both a blessing and a curse. You have the space and resources to create a formidable perimeter defense. However, there's also a lot more ground to cover, making it a bit more challenging. Let's start with perimeter patrols. Regular patrols are crucial in a rural setting. Use the natural high points in your surroundings for observation. This allows you to spot any potential intruders before they approach your property. The more you familiarize yourself with your surroundings, the easier it will be to notice anything out of the ordinary. Next, consider creating natural barriers. This could be anything from ditches and berms to thorny hedges and stone walls. Natural barriers not only slow down intruders, but they also blend into the environment, making them less obvious to those who might wish to breach your perimeter. Now, if you've got the space and the resources, building elevated observation points or watchtowers can provide a significant advantage. These allow for a broader field of vision and can act as a deterrent to potential intruders. Just the sight of a watchtower can make an intruder think twice about approaching your property. In a rural setting, you might have livestock, and certain animals like geese or guinea fowl can be great alarms. They're known to kick up a fuss when they sense something unfamiliar, so you might consider keeping a few around as part of your early warning system. When it comes to firearms, it's not enough to just have them. You need to know how to use them effectively. Regular training is crucial, and just as important are rules of engagement. These rules help to prevent accidents and ensure everyone knows how to respond in a potential threat situation. Finally, let's talk about communication systems. In a rural area, you might be a significant distance from your nearest neighbor, so having a reliable means of communication is essential. This could be anything from two-way radios to signal flares. The key here is redundancy. Have multiple methods of communication in case one fails. Remember, every rural area is unique. You'll need to adapt these strategies to fit your specific situation. Use the natural features of your environment to your advantage, and always be aware of your surroundings. Rural areas offer a lot of space and resources. Use them wisely to ensure your safety. Now that we've covered specific strategies, let's recap the key points. We began our journey understanding the importance of perimeter protection during an SHTF situation. We learned that whether you live in an apartment complex, a suburban area, or a rural area, your safety depends largely on your ability to effectively secure your surroundings. The general principles for perimeter protection apply universally, regardless of your living environment. We discussed the significance of awareness, knowing your surroundings, and identifying entry points and weak spots. We touched upon the concept of deterrence, making your property appear difficult to access, and setting up visible defenses. We also explored the need for early warning systems, strategic defensive positioning, and effective communication methods. For those living in apartment complexes, we discussed the importance of fortifying entry points and coordinating with your community. We emphasized the value of surveillance, noise traps, adequate lighting, and having a well-planned evacuation route. In suburban areas, the focus shifted towards installing solid fencing and potentially adding barbed wire or thorny plants. We discussed the benefits of having a trained guard dog, using motion-activated lights and alarms, and establishing a neighborhood watch. We also stressed on the importance of securing outbuildings and maintaining defensible landscaping. In rural areas, the strategies took a slightly different turn. We talked about conducting regular perimeter patrols and using natural high points for observation. We discussed creating natural barriers like ditches and berms, building watchtowers, and using livestock as alarms. But remember, these strategies are not one-size-fits-all. Each living environment presents its own unique challenges and opportunities. It's essential to adapt these strategies to your specific circumstances. In conclusion, I want to stress the importance of taking action. It's easy to watch a video and think, I should do that. But it's another thing entirely to actually implement what you've learned. Don't wait for an SHTF situation to arise before you start planning your perimeter protection. The time to act is now. Remember, the best protection plan is the one that works for you and your environment. It's about making your surroundings safer and more secure, not about creating a fortress. It's about being prepared, staying vigilant, and adapting to changing circumstances. So let's take what we've learned today and put it into action. Let's start planning our perimeter protection and making our homes and communities safer. Because at the end of the day, our safety is in our hands. Remember, the best protection plan is the one that works for you and your environment. We've covered a lot today, but remember, knowledge is only powerful when put to use. So don't just sit there. It's time to put these strategies into practice. Every environment, whether you're in an apartment complex, a suburban area, or a rural setting, has its unique challenges and opportunities. The key is to adapt and tailor these strategies to your specific situation. And hey, we're all in this together. If you've got some tips and tricks of your own, why not share them in the comments below? Maybe you've come up with a genius way to fortify your doors, or perhaps you've trained your poodle to be a lean, mean guarding machine. Whatever it is, we're all ears. Your experiences could be invaluable to others in our community. While you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps us know we're on the right track, and it helps other people find this video too. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss out when we release new videos. We've got plenty more where this came from, covering everything from basic survival skills to advanced prepping techniques. Also, don't forget to check out the other resources available on our channel. We've got a wealth of videos packed full of useful information and practical advice. Whether you're a seasoned prepper or just starting your journey, there's something for everyone. Thanks for spending your time with us today. Remember, preparation is the key to survival, but it doesn't stop here. Keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep sharing what you know with others. Together, we can make sure we're all ready for whatever comes our way. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe out there.